Mark, the MTN 8 is an integral part of the South African football landscape, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, it's a tournament that's come on years. Obviously, the sponsors have changed over the years. We had it was the BP Top 8, it was the SAA Super 8, and now it's the MTN 8. So yeah, it's definitely formed an integral part of the South African football scene, and it's something, you know, everyone looks forward to every year.
It's quite unique though, isn't it?
It is definitely unique because I think the nice thing about it is that it allows the league to be competitive throughout the year, because even though you might not be playing for first place and, you know, competing for league honors, and you might not be avoiding relegation, there's always, you know, in the middle of the log, you're fighting to get into the top 8, to make it into the top 8 competition. So it allows the league to be competitive throughout the year. So there's no teams who really relax towards the end, you know, because then they're either safe or not fighting for first place, because there's always something to fight for. Getting into the top 8 is something that everyone strives to achieve.
And you're guaranteed 800,000 Rand for appearing. And one of the mottos of this, one of the slogans rather, of this competition is Wafa Wafa, do or die, winner takes all.
Yeah, that's for this specifically under MTN. That's what's happened. It's pretty much winner takes all, and that's what makes it so unique in itself as well. And you know, just the fact that you know already coming from the way the league closes last season, you know what to expect. It's generally the opening game of the new season, so you're generally looking to open against, you know, because we know first place 8th, second place 7th, and so forth. So that's why it's so unique, and there's no draw in the first round. So you're looking, you know exactly how to plan, who you're coming up against in your first game, and that helps.
All right, now, Sundowns finished top of the pile, while Platinum Stars are laboured to get into the top 8. Does that make Sundowns the overwhelming favourites to take it this year?
This game is special as well because, you know, what a difference a year makes in the case of Sundowns, because last year they didn't even feature in the top 8. And now they come in, obviously, as the number 1 team from last season. It's unique because now it's the league champions versus the defending champions of the competition.
MTN 8, yeah.
So Platinum Stars obviously want to defend their title. I think Sundowns will go in as favourites. The top 4 teams obviously automatically are the home teams as well. So that counts in Sundowns' favour. And so they will go in as favourites. But Platinum Stars, you know, they're defending champions. They won 2 trophies last year, so they know what these tournaments are about. They know how to play them. They've got the experience, and so this is going to be a really tight game. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for Sundowns at all.
Well, having said that, Peter Musimane is reported to have said on several media houses to have said that he's focusing on the CAF Champions League as well as the PSL League, and, you know, not so much on this particular competition. Do you think he's trying to play mind games there?
Yeah, it will be a sad day in South African football if that were true. I don't think it's true at all. I think he's obviously, having won the league, he's got a target on his back now. You know, the league champions are always going to be the team that all the other teams are going to gun for and want to beat. And so he knows this, and I think he's just trying to play a bit coy. This is definitely a tournament they're going to take seriously, and one that they are going to want to win, and one that they're going to want to compete in and go as far as possible.
Right now, another intriguing clash, besides the Platinum Stars, who laboured to get into the top 8, as well as Sundowns, who won the league last year, is Orlando Pirates up against Supersport United.
Yeah, that's it's actually also a rematch from last year. They met in the first round of the MTN 8 as well, and that match actually ended in a 2-2 draw, and Pirates advanced on penalties. So it's definitely an interesting clash. I think both teams are quite evenly matched. We've seen them play really tight affairs in the past, and I don't expect any different from this game. Obviously, both teams have changed their personnel a little bit, but I think we're still in for a really tight game there as well.
Now, Kaizer Chiefs have won this more than anybody else. They've actually won it 14 times since its inception in 1972. They're up against Black Aces, and this one should be fairly straightforward.
A lot of people would think that. I think if we're talking 10 years ago, whatever the case may be, you'd think, okay, Chiefs are just going to walk it. But it's definitely not the case in this day and age. If you look at it, Black Aces actually put a serious dent in Chiefs' title aspirations just a few months ago, because they beat them 1-0 at, I think it was at FNB Stadium, and that kind of put paid to their title chances. So they come into this game, they'll be very wary of a Black Aces team who've put together a really solid squad, and the fact that they managed to make the top 8 in, you know, just in the first season back up in the top flight shows that they're a team to watch, and I think Chiefs will be very wary of them.
And based on their performances last year, Bidvest Vets should be doing fairly well. Well, people are expecting that they'll be doing well.
Definitely, they put up really solid performances, and the fact that they competed so well, even in the league, they were there till the later stages, competing. So definitely, people will expect a lot from him. This is another rematch. Wits beat Celtic 3-0 in the opening round of the top 8 in the last edition. So obviously, they'll be hoping to repeat that feat. But definitely, Wits will probably go into this one as favourites. But Celtic, again, always a tough team to play. They'll come and fight. And I don't think it will be easy pickings because they've got a really astute coach as well. Ernst Middendorp is a master tactician. He'll know how to approach this game. So it's going to be a game where the coaches are going to factor in heavily. I think 2 really good coaches, and I think we'll see a really tight affair there as well.
So, Mark, tell us, as an opener to the season, how does the player feel going into this match, knowing that it's one of those a really big tournament, rather. It's a really big tournament. There's a lot of money at stake. The club management want them to do well. It's a good opportunity for the player to impress and show that he's worth his position, his jersey position in the team. You've played a few of these. How many of these have you played, Mark?
I've won the top 8 before, and I know what it feels like. And, going into this, the opening game, because it's the first game of the season, your opening game kind of sets the tone for the rest of the season. So you want to start on a positive note. So no matter what, even if, we've heard the reports of Pitsos might not take this game as seriously, that can't be the case because your opening game sets the tone for the season. And even though this is a cup game, it's going to set the tone for their season. So they want to start on a positive note. Going into this game, the MTN 8 winner take all, it's 8 million rand. For the players, it's huge because this is probably the easiest money to make in the league, if I can say that, because it's 4 games to 8 million rand. So it's 2 million rand a game. So players are going to put their lives on the line for this one. They're going to go all out and they're going to want to do well in this competition. In
terms of bonuses versus what the club keeps, what kind of bonuses are we talking about for the players?
Most clubs generally go 50-50. So if with the 8 million rand, it will pretty much be 4 million to the club, 4 million to the players and technical staff to split. So that's why I say, for it to happen, the league, I think you get 10 million for the league, or it might have been increased now.
It's around there.
It's around 10 million for the league, and that's 30 games. So this is four games, 8 million rand. So, for the players, there's a lot of the financial incentive is there, and so they'll definitely want to do well in this competition.
Right, and you think having moved it to Moses Mabhida Stadium, they made a good choice because in 2012 they played it at Orlando Stadium and there had very few people there. Moved it to Moses Mabhida, packed.
When you move it to the stadiums where they're a little starved of football or the high-end cup finals and all that kind of thing, you definitely you're going to attract the crowd. And the atmosphere in Durban is so lovely. The stadium is a beautiful setting itself, the surroundings, everything about Moses Mabhida. It's a beautiful stadium, beautiful atmosphere, and that's definitely why it's a popular choice.
All right, nice one. Now, who are you rooting for tomorrow?
It's a tight one, but I'll probably, being a former Wits player, I'll probably hope they come through in that one.
All right, nice one. Mark, thank you so much for coming back and sharing this with us. A lot of people are looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're in for an exciting weekend's football, so a lot to look forward to.
All right, Mark Haskins giving us a lowdown on the MTN 8. Tomorrow it starts. A couple of matches and you get $8 million. It's a lot of money for just 4 matches.